Broskies, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got yet another unboxing coming at y'all live, in which we're going to be doing a different sort of unboxing. Music-wise, it's still music, right? But it's not going to be the usual like anniversary kind of unboxings that I've been doing the past, year. Today, we're going to be doing an unboxing on a band that I've been really into lately. A little known band called Duran Duran. I got a few items from their store, from the Rhino official store, which is kind of like what they sell from. But I'm actually really excited to unbox all this Duran Duran stuff. Now, this band I've been really into lately, like heavily into lately for the past like month or so, and I've been listening to their songs like almost religiously at this point. And now I haven't like taking the time to really go through each of their individual albums and listen to like every single song that they have done, which I do want to do eventually soon, but I just haven't gotten around to doing so yet. But I do know the hits, at least like the earlier hits, like the 80s hits. I know a little bit into the 90s, and then of course like more recent times. But I'm hoping with this unboxing, with this physical unboxing, I'll use whatever is present in this unboxing and actually start going through that amazing discography and iconic discography that they have. So I think I want to start off with the vinyl first. I think that's probably the best way to do it, is the bigger box right over here. I think the bigger, sort of better way to start off. Now, y'all probably have heard, if you haven't heard of it, you've probably heard of Duran Duran in media. Obviously, Hunger at the Wolf is like one of, if not their biggest song. So of course that one, has been played everywhere in like movies, probably games too. I feel like it's mainly been like a movies thing. And one of their, I guess, more recent hits, right? 2021, they had a song called Invisible, in which that one was heavily memed with like Metal Gear Solid 5 with Naked Snake, or I guess Venom Snake. So yeah, that was, that's also another big one you probably have heard. Let's go into this box. It's a very interesting, different box this time around, and damn, there it is. Kind of just like opens up like a book almost. Here are all of the records that we have in store today. Can y'all see like the side of it? You might be able to see the side of them. Hold up, let me see if I can get like a good shot of the side of all of those suckers. So this is a nice little arrangement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records. Yeah, 6 records with like a 7th record being on the side. But it's basically just an entire arrangement of records of albums, from their first album, from their debut album, all the way to their cover album, Thank You, in like 97, I want to say 95 maybe. I think it was 95. So let's go ahead and start unboxing everything. Okay, it took a second to rearrange everything in kind of like, in order of like release. So let's get right into things. Now, first things first, we have the debut album, Duran Duran, which is such an iconic album. The classic album includes Goes on Film and Planet Earth, newly cut vinyl, color for vinyl. Obviously, I got the boys right over there, the 5 guys. And then we have on the back side, right over there, boom, track listing over here. Really cool. Let's go ahead and open it up. Someone did recently suggest in like a recent unboxing, suggest use a guitar pick for opening up records and like sleeves and whatnot, which I think it's a pretty smart idea. They say it's a way safer way to open, shrink wrap up without having to damage the record, with risking less damage on the record itself. So I'll have to keep that in mind for a later point. But here we go, album on unwrapped. I like this little like silver kind of texture to different like points of it going into things. So I don't think it's anything inside. Nope, nothing on the inside. I think it's gonna be very simple, nothing like crazy like the other anniversary releases that we have done on a box that we've done. So it's gonna be very simple, straight to the point. We got the sleeve, the outer sleeve, which has a bunch of the songs as well as the lyrics too. So all the songs on the album, side 1 and side B, and then going, of course, into the record itself. Here it is, that beautiful black record. Look at that, side 2 and then there's side 1 right there. Now this is obviously the original album, right? This is not the 1983 release, a re-release that had Is There Something I Should Know, right? Which is kind of like they wanted to re-release the first album, but added that new single to kind of also promote that single, but like also get sales back up for the first. It was interesting. I don't know why they did it, but I kind of understand it. You know, promotion wise, I guess it kind of worked better for them. But that is the first album. Going into their second album, which is probably their most popular and iconic album, of course, that being Rio right there. Now on the back of it was, you know, the front cover, the classic one with that smiling girl. And the back cover, of course, with the song listing and then some pretty cool design and picture over there. Now, like I haven't even unwrapped it yet, but the cover texture feels very different. It's not like a smooth texture like the other ones would typically be. This one's kind of like, this was actually just textured. It feels, I don't know what to describe it as. Let me open it up and then we'll I'll go from there. I bet the guitar pick opening idea would probably actually work very well, but I feel like I'm pretty comfortable and safe with the knife. I think that works enough, you know, well enough for me. Okay, but here we go. We got the Rio. I don't know if y'all can even see that, but there is some sort of like texture on it. It's like it's like a rough texture, which is really cool. A really cool addition I was not expecting at all. Let's go ahead and open up the album itself, which of course we have the first side of the sleeve here. Got some you know, some stuff there, some credit stuff, and of course the guys on top. And then on the back, we of course have all of the tracks and their lyrics. Pretty cool. And of course, standard black vinyl. You already know the drill on that. And that's Rio, really cool album. I like this album a lot from what I have listened to. I guess like track wise, let me actually see what I have listened to on these albums and like point ones that really stood out to me. So in the first album, I've only really listened to Girls on Film and Anyone Out There, 2 amazing songs. I have yet to listen to everything else. On Rio, I have of course listened to Hungry Like the Wolf. I listened briefly to Rio itself. I also really enjoy My Own Way. It's like one of my favorites from them. And Hold Back the Rain is another fantastic one. But now we go into the third album, and honestly, like one of my personal favorites from just like the general sound of it. That being Seven and the Ragged Tiger. I like this album a lot, again, from what I have listened to of it, and it's kind of amazing. Here's the back, obviously with this really cool design on the cover, and then of course, you know, the track listing in the middle. And it kind of like, I like how all these albums kind of have like, you know, it's a classic album, includes these 2 songs, you know, these big hit songs. Why for Seven and a Ragged Tiger, it says includes The Reflex and New Moon on Monday. I mean, 2 really good songs, but why did they not mention Union of the Snake? That's literally the main single, the lead single of the album, and honestly, probably my favorite song from them. And it's kind of a shame that they just brushed past it. It's like, you could have done Reflex, because that was like the huge hit of the album, but also, you know, Union of the Snake, because that's the lead single, and also like another fantastic song, a fan favorite. I feel like many fans really do enjoy that one, even if Duran Duran themselves do not like, you know, don't really perform the song, only like on occasion from what I've noticed. I think they performed it on like their Notorious tour, or I guess Skin Trade tour. I think that's what the name of it was. They performed it then, and I'm pretty sure afterwards they didn't perform it for many years, which is such a shame too, because it's such a phenomenal song. But I hear like Nick Rhodes, the synthesizer, the keyboardist of the band, said that he doesn't like playing it live because, you know, the keyboard arrangements are very complicated for like a live performance, which, you know, I can understand. You know, that's the reason why. But here we go, Seven and a Ragged Tiger. Let's look into the inner sleeve here. So a very interesting kind of cover for this one. I don't know what to really, it's kind of like, it's almost like a sandpaper, or like just an old paper, like kind of like a degrading paper. Got Duran Duran here on the bottom. And then on the other side, of course, we have all of the albums, or sorry, all of these songs, plus their lyrics. And then on the bottom, all the credits of the band and producers and all that stuff, writers, you know the drill. And then of course, black vinyl here. Very cool. Now, Seven and a Ragged Tiger, from what I have listened to. I've mainly listened to, let's see, the Reflex. Obviously, I am more of a fan of the album version compared to the single version. New Moon on Monday, which is pretty good. I'm just trying to like get more into it. Union of the Snake, which is of course my favorite song from them. And The Seventh Stranger I've listened to briefly, but that one sounds phenomenal. I love the sound of that one a lot. But going into their fourth album after a 2-3 year long break since Seven and a Ragged Tiger, we've got Notorious. Notorious, which is honestly, again, from what I have listened to, a really damn good album. But here's the front cover with the three guys, only three of them this time around because Roger Taylor and Andy Taylor, the drummer and guitarist of the group, decided to leave at this point. So we just have the three of them, John Taylor, Nick Rhodes, and Sam LeBon. And in the back with this girl, which kind of continues the Notorious, or like the Duran name on top there, which is pretty cool. So it's like Duran Duran. It's like Duran, and then you turn it around and it continues with the rest of the name Duran and then Notorious, which I do like that a lot. I remember them talking about that on one of their interviews, and it's like, oh, that's pretty smart. That's honestly a really smart way to do it. And the Notorious album is a very cool but also interesting album. Obviously, it's the first album that they ended up having to do as a 3-piece band instead of the usual 5-piece band. But also the general sound of it just feels very, very different, almost like a bit more mature compared to the sound of the first 3 albums, which I really do like the way this album sounds. The production of it is absolutely amazing. I think it was produced by Nile Rodgers. I think he was a co-producer of the album. So obviously Nile Rodgers is a phenomenal songwriter and also producer. Okay, finally got that one out of there. Let's go ahead, check out Notorious. I think the Notorious itself does not have any texture, but the Duran actually does on both sides, which is pretty cool. Kind of like, it's a little bit like into the record itself, so you can kind of feel over the letters. Really, really cool addition. But inner sleeve, it's a nice little looking sleeve. So the first side is this crazy like print. I don't know what to describe it as, maybe like a fingerprint or maybe like an animal print of some sort. Really, really cool looking print there. And then of course on the other side we have track listing, you have musicians, so general credits, and then of course the members of Duran Duran plus like the other ones that really helped with the album as well. Now it actually mentions that Andy Taylor was a part of the album. He actually did play a bit of the album, but then ended up leaving sometime during the process of it. So the rest of it was just kind of up to the other 3 guys. But yeah, produced by Nile Rodgers with Duran Duran. So of course Nile Rodgers production, and of course we have the inside, which is the standard black vinyl. Really, really cool. Now Notorious, I've been heavily listening to specific songs like Notorious, obviously the lead single. I love Hold Me, and of course Vertical Due to Demolition. That one goes hard. It's such an underrated track. Vertigo is such an amazing track by them. Honestly, one of my favorites as of right now. But now we go into their 5th album, which is 1988's Big Thing. Very different album cover compared to their first 4 albums, because it actually like doesn't even have that. Well, aside from Rio, obviously, but it's just the look of it generally is very, very different, unique compared to their first 4 albums. Now, the Big Thing I know is a pretty popular one. Do You Believe in Shame and All She Wants Is. Surprised they didn't add. They didn't talk about. What is it called? What's that one song? I Don't Want Your Love. I love that song. That song is amazing. That's probably my favorite song from what I've listened to so far off of the Big Thing. Kind of a shame they didn't add it onto the front side. Kind of with Union of the Snake. Very strange. It's like the lead singles they don't really care much about unless they're like the big album hitters like Notorious, for example. And I will say it does feel really good to finally be doing this unboxing. I've been heavily anticipating this unboxing for like the past, honestly, like month or so. Okay, maybe it's not been like a full month, but it probably has been, honestly. At this point in time, it probably has been a full month since I actually got this stuff in the mail, and like I've been like heavily like just wanting to get this opened and checked out for myself, and I'm finally glad to do it for y'all. But now here we go. Big Thing, which is actually I think a bit different. It doesn't actually fold. Wait, does it fold? It does. So it's not the standard just like one little like insert thing. It actually folds open, and let's see what this one entails. Look at that. This is a pretty cool pretty cool designed inside cover for the album. Kind of shows like a bunch of pictures, a bunch of lettering, obviously, you know, also with the track listing and the members of the band and all the credits, all that general stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. Also lyrics too. I don't think it's lyrics to all the songs, but definitely a lot of them. Definitely a lot of them. But then I think only on one side, yeah, on one section is where the actual album is itself. And so here it is. You already know the drill. This one is going to be standard black vinyl as per usual. Gotta love it. Now, big thing, I haven't listened to too much of it. I've listened to All She Wants Is briefly, but kind of like one time. And then, of course, you know, I Don't Want Your Love, which is also a phenomenal song. I think that's probably, from, again, you know, it's too early to tell, but I think that's my favorite off the album. So, you know, we'll see. You know, once I eventually do get to listening to the album and all the other albums, I'll see what my true favorites are going to be in the end. Okay, big thing on the side. Now, before we get into this one, I want to go ahead and open up this package here. Now, there's one album that's well, let's say a few things first. One album, their very infamous album called Liberty, did not get any special re-releases in recent times. These, I'm pretty sure, are all based off of like 2010 remasters, re-releases, but I think they also got like more re-releases since then, like 2021 or something, 2024. Liberty was not sadly was not one of the lucky ones to get added into that lineup, which is a shame. You know, I really hate that one album just didn't end up getting any cool re-releases like these did. Now, I know Liberty is not really one that's like a huge fan favorite. I know for a while, especially like at release, people just really did not dig with it. People have been wanting for it to be released, like true fans have been wanting for it to have a re-release at some time. I think Nick Rhodes mentioned something about like he wants it to get a re-release too, but he wants to also like get back to work on it in the studio and really like perfect it, really like do a proper true remaster of that album to make it sound a bit better, right? Because I feel like people just really didn't like the sound of the album too. Songwriting wise, also just people didn't really like it, but the sound of the album people are just not a big fan of. So Liberty will have to be a different time, unboxing wise. But their next album after that, which really like brought them like back to classic Duran Duran popularity, the Wedding album, which we will look at in just a moment. As long as I could get this damn box open, because this seller just decided to really go crazy. I mean, I appreciate the safety of it, but still, like, damn, I'm trying to actually like open this up. Now, this album I was not able to get directly off of the Rhino website just because it was not in stock anymore. I got a CD for it, but not the record. This I had to get off of Discogs from I guess not a reseller, but just, you know, a seller, which didn't really, you know, it didn't really break the bank, thankfully. But this one, I'm glad I still ended up getting, because I wanted to like complete the unboxing. You know, couldn't have done it without it. But here it is, the popular Wedding album. Now it's titled Duran Duran, just like their debut album, but it's typically known as the Wedding album, right? So we get the front here with like a bunch of pictures of married couples. I'm pretty sure they are based off of like, you know, the parents of the Duran Duran members, and in the back, which is just a whole bunch of pictures of just a band doing like solo shots and group shots. Kind of funny there. I think at this point in time, what's his face? I'm damn, I'm already forgetting his name. The new guitarist of the band. He was like a true member, like a brand new, like proper member of the band at this point. I forget his name. I hate that I'm forgetting his name, but I am. But yeah, so let's get ahead and go into unboxing this album. Okay, into the Wedding album. The cover has Duran Duran here, but it's like a really cool texture, so you can really like feel it, which is really cool. Opening it up, it's another foldable one. Goes right into that, which is really, really cool. Just picture, like a widescreen picture of like the four guys of the band at the time, right, being there in the middle, top there, and at the bottom we got some other pictures like them with some girls, which is pretty nice. Now I think this is actually a double album, isn't it? It's a double album. Oh shoot. We have one slip right here, which has a cool design there, and another one which has a bunch of songs or lyrics, and of course other pictures, and then black vinyl there. And then on the other side, exact same thing. I think the picture itself here is a little bit different. And then of course on this side as well. Actually, this is a little bit different. No, these are actual like lyrics. I thought it was like something different, but like no, these are actual lyrics of the songs. More other pictures, really cool lyrics of the songs that are present on this vinyl itself. Very interesting though, very interesting. I didn't expect the wedding album to be a double album, but it is. So that's pretty cool. This one and the big thing was more so just like they wanted to add just more to like the inside of it. So that's why, it was a foldable one, but this one's like a true like double vinyl. So they kind of had to make it like a gatefold. I forget the terms of them, but the gatefold, let's just say it is. Now on to our final vinyl unboxing. This is this is another very infamous album of theirs called Thank You. Now here's the front cover, which is a bunch of different artists, and then the back cover again with a bunch of different artists. Now this this album is essentially a cover album that they ended up doing, I think back in like 95, I want to say. I think it was 1995, and it wasn't received super well. People did not really care for this album at all. They felt like it was just, I don't know. From what I remember hearing, they didn't really like the sound of the record or the album, or they just didn't really care for the covers. Like, why would Duran Duran do a covers album and change up the sound of like so many iconic songs? I don't know, people just really did not care for this album at all. It didn't. And I'm here just to say, like, I don't know what to think of it because I haven't listened to it myself, but it might be pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of like cover albums. I'm not, but there's a chance that Duran Duran might also make like a really good attempt at a cover album. Now, what's really cool about this one is that it actually is it's kind of like a glossy finish to it instead of the general like matte style the other records were. But yet again, this is yet another opener here. We got the main four guys at the time of the band right here. The same four that were present on the wedding album. Going into one side, of course, we have very just sleek, just standard sleeve right here. One side just pure black, the other side pure black aside from this Duran Duran logo. And then of course, the drill. Standard black vinyl there. I like the pink slip that they actually like do. As you can see also, it is titled Thank You. If you guys are curious about that, I'm not just like pulling that out of my ass. It's actually called Thank You. Probably like thank you for the amazing songs, or like cover, or just, yeah, you know what I mean. And then the inside of it, or sorry, the other side is actually a pink color. Just full out, just pure pink. And then of course Duran Duran here in black. So definitely a different feel to the other side, which I'm not complaining about. And also the sticker here is an inner, whatever it's called, is black instead of pink. So they kind of like just swapped it between vinyls. I like that a lot. It's really cool design there. And there is another thing here. Oh, perfect. A brand new edition. We have a poster? Hello? I was not expecting this at all, but here we freaking go. Oh my gosh. I don't know if y'all can even see like the full thing of it, but here is the poster that ended up coming with the album. I was genuinely not expecting this at all, but there's just like a bunch of different images here. A little bit showcasing the band, and just like a whole bunch of like different graphic designs just everywhere here. And there's some stickers, or sorry, some stamps here of the band, and also some other designs. Really cool. I was not expecting the full poster to be available, but hey, no reason to complain about that, I guess. Before we head off the Thank You album, the inside is also pretty glossy too, so it really kept like the glossy feel of everything for this one. But yeah, that is all of the records opened up and looked at. Everything from the debut album all the way to their cover album of Thank You, aside from Liberty, sadly. But I'll get around to getting Liberty at some point. Hopefully they do end up doing a re-release of the album. That would be great. But let's really quickly, before we end things off, go through the CDs of all of those albums, because I definitely wanted to get the CD collection as well. So, you know, we're here, we're gonna do it as well. And I probably won't spend too much time on the CDs just because it's probably just gonna be the exact same thing, but it's just in a smaller formats. Like, let's be for real. But here we go as well. The CDs of all the albums that we unboxed today. We have the Origin, we have Rio, we have Seven and a Ragged Tiger, we have Notorious, we've got Big Thing, Duran Duran or the Wedding album, and then of course Thank You right there. Again, Liberty sadly not a part of it, which is a bit of a shame, but again, you know, hopefully at some point they will end up re-releasing that album and remastering it and just having it be like a, you know, really cool to actually have it in people's hands again. But I guess that is about it for today's unboxing. It was a really fun unboxing, really cool taking a look at all these Duran Duran albums that I now have access to and will start listening to very, very soon. So I'm very, very excited about that. Good to have them all in record for in LP format and also in CD format. So I have, you know, two different ways of listening to all of them. But I'm really excited to just like take a little gander at their discography. They're very iconic and amazing discography, and I'm gonna see, you know, what happens with this one. So, you know, probably I'll let y'all know how I'm feeling about their songs and what ends up being my favorites at some point in the future. So stay tuned for that, I guess. But I guess let's end things off for today. Thank you all so much for watching. You know, stay tuned for some more stuff. We got some fun stuff coming up very, very soon. And I guess I'll let y'all go. I'll see everyone the next time. You know, subscribe, like, comment, all the good stuff. You already know the drill. Have a good one, everyone. Peace out. Bye.